Hey, I'm Evie with Evie Lynn Photography. I am a newborn and maternity photographer. And in this video, we're going to show a little bit about lighting and posing if you're just getting into newborn photography. So some preparations I would recommend for your newborn session in your studio. I do keep my studio really warm, about 80, 85 degrees. Baby's used to being in that temperature, so we want to make sure a baby's comfortable. Some prep instructions I give parents are to try to keep baby awake for about 45 minutes to an hour before the coming to the studio. I usually say give a bath. That's a good way to keep baby awake. We just want to get them awake a little bit before they come so they're a little bit more likely to sleep for this session. So if baby arrives sleeping, it's usually a good indication that you can start with those naked table poses. I also use white noise for the studio as well as the shusher. I also prepare for setting everything up ahead of time for baby. I usually, baby's the boss and they're kind of in charge of the session, but it does help going into the session having a plan of what you're wanting to do. A good point too is also to always have all your stuff ready to go, like your camera. Make sure you have a charged battery, you have your trigger ready to go. Strobe light is on. For camera settings though, I do tend a little bit wide open. My f-stop's usually about 2.2. Shutter speed is 160, 200, and ISO, I try to keep it low as well, around 100, maybe 125. As far as lenses on your camera, I like to use the prime lenses. I use typically the 50 millimeter lens, and I do use a 35 for overhead shots when I'm shooting down on baby. Another good suggestion for parents is to dress baby in something that buttons or snaps. We don't want to take anything off over their head, which could wake them up potentially. So my session's usually about 3 hours, and baby needs to eat some time in there as well, and I allow plenty of time. I break it up into about 3 different sections. If baby comes in sleeping, and parents followed all the prep instructions, I do start with the table poses, and then I do parent and sibling poses after that. And then baby usually needs to eat sometime around that time frame. We allow for that 30 minutes or however long baby needs. And then I do props at the end. Towards the end of the session, baby's wrapped the entire time, so it's a little more smoother to move from pose to pose with different props in that. So if baby comes in and he's kind of not totally sleeping, he seems content. Oh, cute little yawn. I do have a space heater here, blowing some nice warm air on them. That usually really helps them relax. Babies don't like to be cold at all. So I'm gonna get him down here and get him undressed and put his little outfit on we have planned for him. Here in my studio, I do have some great natural light in the front window, but I do prefer to use a strobe. You're gonna get much more consistent lighting, white balance with a strobe, and you can shoot any time of the day. It's kind of the best part. The whole point of this whole setup here is to mimic window light. But if the sun goes behind a tree, your white balance is going to be constantly changing, and you're going to have to, try to get those images look consistent later. Whereas with the strobe, it's going to look consistent throughout the whole shoot. So that's what we're trying to achieve here. Another great thing about having strobe is once you do get that settings set, it's good to go for the whole session, unless you do change your settings. But it's great too for little kids, siblings, if they're on the move a little bit. You know that light is going to be consistent. The FJ400 is completely cordless, so you can just move it around anywhere in your studio to have that beautiful light. Consistency is important, especially for your clients. The images that they see on your website is what they are expecting, and with your strobe, you can achieve that every time. So gas, you can get him on his little tummy here. Maybe he'll Mm. Wow. Hey. I'm gonna ask one of somebody assist me for a second. At least he likes being on his back like that, huh? Are you okay? Yeah, leave it in the water. Okay. As you saw, we just got this shot, but I did need to use mom's hand in the photo to keep baby kind of in position. The way though I had her hold baby, should be super easy to be able to Photoshop out. So don't be afraid to have mom or dad or somebody help assist you with the pose and then just Photoshop the hand out later if possible. Another favorite thing I love to do during the newborn sessions is have my camera tethered to the iPad. Parents love this. They'll be able to see the images in real time as I'm taking them so they can ooh and ah over how cute their baby is. I know it can be easy to get frustrated sometimes doing this when, baby is crying like that, but for you to keep your calm can definitely help. And just take little breaks and soothe baby between. Now, if baby was screaming, inconsolably, I would obviously pick him up and console him. He's got a little bit of tummy issues, so that can be a little more challenging sometimes when they're, hurting their tummy. Yeah. No, it's okay. So I always say that lighting and posing coordinate together. So I have my light right at 90 degrees, but to light your subject correctly, your baby needs to be facing forward pretty well. If he was turned all the way, his face was facing too far away from the light, it's going to be too dark. So you need to make sure when you're posing that your baby's face is up and into the light a little bit so that it can illuminate it correctly. I try to do that with all the poses. Baby's face is generally facing the same way, and I'm just moving the body around, but doing that will help you have more consistent lighting if you're always having the baby's face up and in the right position. If you feel like you're getting too many shadows on this side, you can, move your light a little bit more, 45, I guess. But for me, I typically like the look of, that light at 90 degrees. I do have it high enough, and I try to keep baby in this bottom quadrant of the light. So I'm getting a lot of spill off from above him so that it's illuminating my backdrop. But it's still getting some nice shadows on the side of him here. So I am using the Westcott FJ402, the 7-foot Westcott umbrella with 2 diffusers. I like to use 2 just because it helps with getting hot spots, on the side from baby. It just helps make that light a little bit softer for it. I usually keep the light at around 3.5 and then adjust my camera settings as needed. But definitely try to keep the ISO as low as possible so you're not getting a lot of grain in your photos. So these are the instructions I always usually tell mom. So baby is going to be laying up in here with you. This hand is going to come up and hold his head. And then this hand will come up and hold his little legs and feet. So when I go to place him on you, you're going to have a tendency to like want to move your hands and help me. Just try to stay put so I can get him in the correct position. Does that make sense? Okay. And he's a big boy, so it's going to be heavy. But let me know if you need to, let me take him or anything like that. Yeah. Because I've done this pose myself. I know how it's a little bit harder. All right, so just move your head back for me. Good. Good, good. And then you can lower this hand down just a smidge. Yeah, good job. I'm going to do a couple test shots. So just say just as you are. And then once I get my settings, make sure everything looks good. I'll tell you where to look and smile and all that. Okay. So just kind of keep them a little curled. Yeah, good job, Mama. I know he's heavy. You're doing great. And again, I'm trying to keep parents in this bottom quadrant of the light. So we get a lot of spill off, a little bit behind and a little bit more above. Now I do shoot on a ladder here so I can get a good angle shooting down on parents and mom and dad. Beautiful. Okay, soft smile, no teeth. Beautiful, Mama. And bring your chin up and you're going to look at me. Open your eyes. Gorgeous. And do a nice big smile. Beautiful. Now I'm focusing on baby here. But the way that I have mom positioned and the angle I'm shooting at, focusing on baby, but I'm getting both of them in focus. And then we're ready to bring dad in. Are you okay still holding baby? Okay. Dad, you're going to come on this side. So I usually like to show parents So I'm just going to show you real quick. So you're going to come in at this angle. This hand will come here. Just hide this hand. Maybe give mom a little support from her back, but your face is going to be right and close with them. Good. Kind of go around a little bit more. Good. Continue to show. Good, good. And mom, you're going to bring your chin up. And you're going to come back this way. Don't be afraid to come in and get them exactly where you need them. I find it a little bit easier than trying to tell them. So dad, you're going to bring your chin up more and this way. Good. Chin up a little bit more. Good. You're going to look at me and smile. Beautiful. All right. Now, mom, you're going to stay like that. You're just going to close your eyes and do a soft smile. Dad, you're going to turn your face towards mom and give her a kiss right above her eyebrow right there. Beautiful. Gorgeous. All right. And then I'm going to have dad go around on the other side of mom. Are you okay still? Yeah, okay. All right, I'm gonna keep him here. So you are gonna turn your face, not your body. Oh, sorry. You're fine. Your face more like that. Good. Dad's hand's gonna come right here. Come around a little bit more for her. Not that much. Great. Right there. Good. And get your hair off your face here. So I like to get connection with parents with their baby. I'm gonna bring his head up. Oop, it's okay. I'm surprised he didn't move at all. So bring your hand more like right there. Good. And you guys are going to kind of come around a little bit more. Sorry. And almost like forehead to forehead. Bring your chin up a little bit more. Cute, cute, cute. All right. Dad, bring your body around the backside of her a little bit more. And turn your face towards me just a smidge. Not that much. Right there. Yes, perfect. Right there. Can you guys close your eyes for me and smile? Beautiful. Gorgeous. And then mom, you're going to come back to baby. Put your cheek back on him. Good. And dad, go behind mom just a smidge. Not that much. Yep. That exact angle you're at, you're going to come in and give her a kiss right on the cheek. And mom, you're going to close your eyes and just enjoy that sweetness. Beautiful. And then dad, turn and face me, cheek to cheek with mom. Yes, mom, bring your chin up a little bit. Yes, you guys look gorgeous. Good. And we're going to do dad and baby. So when I do this pose, his back will be against you. He'll be facing me. So this hand will hold his little legs and feet here. And then this hand is going to come up kind of like that with yours. He'll be like resting on your right here. And I always joke, I've never had a dad drop a baby, so don't be my first, okay? Good job. I'm not going to let him go until I know that you have him. Good. Let me get this little hand out. Go put your thumb behind his. There you go. Okay, let's let him just settle for a second. You feel okay with him right here? Okay. Mom, I'm gonna have you come stand over here just as a spotter. You'll be off camera if you just kind of, maybe like right here, just up. So you're close enough within arm's length, but you look great, Dad. First shot, just stay looking like that, kind of down at him, okay? And then I'll tell you where to look and smile and all that, okay? Just try not to move on that hand. Oops. Let's see. Here, I'm gonna take him. I feel like he's kind of hungry now, so. But I think we got some good ones, and I did get a couple with him there. So, oh my goodness, are we done? You want to go see Mom? Yeah. So we just finished up with our first model, and as you could see, he was a little difficult. Sometimes they get gassy and they're just not wanting to, cooperate. It's important in those moments, though, to take a breath, try to be as patient as you can. They are just little tiny humans. We do have another model coming in, and we're going to be doing a wrap pose and a bucket pose. So I'm excited to show you that. So our next model just got here, and I'm going to show you a really cute way to wrap baby. That makes a really cute photo. And then we're going to do the transition to the bucket. So I have baby in about the middle of the wrap here, just halfway down on her, where you're going to wrap her little toes together. It is helpful when baby is sleeping for this because they're not moving as much, but I've done it when baby's awake as well. You just have to work at it a little bit harder because they're squirming. So I'm taking a little bit of this extra fabric on the sides here, and we're going to just do a light tie around her little toes. Not too tight, of course. And it's good to use a good stretchy fabric, okay? That way you can see it's really nice and loose around her. In fact, that's a little bit too loose. I'm going to do it. Sorry, one more time here. Okay, so there. And then I kind of curl their feet up and get their little arms down on their side. Doesn't have to be perfect because we can adjust her a little bit later, but I'm going to take this first wrap on the side and go up and across her body. Pulling that up right here. Go behind her, so gently kind of go behind her there. Pull this wrap back down. And you want it snug, obviously not too tight. You just want to be able to keep her in that position. And then we're going to grab this piece on this side and do the same thing. I'm going to go up and across her, over her shoulder, around the back. And then usually I have enough to go across her body one more time. And I think I might here. Let's see. It's pretty stretchy wrap here. So go across her body right there. And then the last piece right here. Baby will be on her back, so the weight of her will hold that fabric down. I do like to get one of their little hands out. I'm going to try to reach in and grab her hand real quick here. She'll let me. There we go. Just kind of enough to just peek out. Just want to see a little bit of the fingers right there. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put a headband on her. And there we go. And there she is. She's ready to take a photo. I do have a little head wedge under here that I'll show you after what's holding her. I do want her up a little bit. I'm going to put a little bean under her little booty there just to kind of help bring her up. Good. So one mistake that I've seen a lot of, newer newborn photographers is having the light come from too far below baby. Okay. So doing this creates something that we call uplighting. It kind of gives a ghoulish look to the baby because the light is coming from up and you kind of get these lines here. I'll take one and show you kind of what I mean with that. You want to make sure the light is coming from the upper part of her head, okay? I like to keep baby in the bottom quadrant of the light there. You can have it, you can have it kind of more like this if you want, but the point is the light coming down her face and not coming up from her feet, okay? And you want to make sure you can kind of get up and over their face so you're directly above her face and not shooting down here, because if I shoot down here, we're going to be kind of shooting up her nose, and I'm going to show you the difference here. So one more comparison that I wanted to show you was the difference between diffusion and non-diffusion. And you can see in these images that the one that's not diffused, the shadows are a little bit harsher and darker, whereas with the diffusion, they're a lot more softer and less defined to kind of give that more dreamy look to the photo. So we got what we needed here. We're going to start to transition her over into the bucket pose after this, and we'll show you exactly how we do that. We're going to keep her wrapped for this shot. We're just going to take off the first layer and kind of like tuck her feet in. So I just took off the top crisscross, and we're going to undo her little feet here. And we're going to just fold them in however kind of she's comfortable. Babies usually some have a prefer way, so she seems okay with that. So we'll leave that in there and just kind of tuck this wrap over. And then these wings, I guess we have them. We are just going to kind of go around her here because we're going to keep her bottom half still wrapped in this shot. So we kind of I'm going to tuck that in behind that one. And then this one come across. I'm just going to tuck it somewhere in here in the back. It doesn't really matter, just so that it's a little bit more secure. And then I'm going to get her little arms out. And she's basically going to be in the bucket pose before I put her in the bucket. I like to pose her in my hands first so I know that she's comfortable in that position. And I know that she'll most likely be okay in there. So we're going to lean her forward. Move that real quick. And we're going to slowly get out her little arms. Taking your time, and as baby moves, you kind of get her into position and let her settle. Get her other little arm here. It's okay if they squirm a little bit. They all do. Especially when you're freeing their little hands. We're going to put that one under this one. You can kind of see. Now with a bucket pose, they kind of do need to have their back arched to fit comfortably in there. So that's just kind of getting her into position. I don't know if you can kind of see from the side angle here of how she's kind of arching up. So when I feel baby relax in my hands, I know that she's good with this position, and I'm going to go ahead and transfer her into the bucket. keep my hand here and we're gonna do the back side first. She transferred pretty well. Sometimes I do put the vibration tool along their back too if they're a little more unsettled, to help them relax. Now we're not totally done and ready yet, but I know that she's in here and she's in the position that I need. I just want to fix her little fingers here a little bit. She seems content. I'm gonna move this bucket back a little bit. So I'm never taking a hand off baby, even if I move around her, because it does only take an instant for them to, you know, flail or do something crazy. That's my go-to soothing technique, just humming. And the babies love it. It just helps them relax. Now, if she moves, I want you to, you know, grab her. But if you don't touch her for now unless you need it, you know. But you're going to hover and I'm going to get ready to shoot. And when I count to 3, you're just going to go straight up. You won't be in my shot up here, but you'll still be close enough, okay? Great. And then I'll tell you to come back down. Great. All right. So you stay right there. I'm going to get my lighting. And actually, I'm going to take a test shot with your hand there first, okay? 1, 2, 3. One of the most important things I will like to emphasize, though, is to have safety with your newborn at all times, especially with bucket poses. You want to have a spotter. I use mom and dad. You can have an assistant, somebody that has their hands very close to baby at all times. As you can see in the video, I had mom's hand hovering and I counted 1, 2, 3, and she just went straight up and I took the shot and then her hand came right back down. It literally can only take a second for something to happen, and you want to keep these little ones safe. So make sure you always have somebody as a spotter to keep baby safe with any prop or posing. Also, when you are shooting overhead with baby, you want to have either a hand strap or a neck strap with your camera. You do not want your camera to slip and fall. So again, safety with that is top priority. So I wanted to show you what was inside the bucket where we put baby. This is a pillow from Original Photo Blocks. It's called the Aaron Toll pillow. So I use this at the front of the bucket. The bucket is from Hello Little. And I use a couple clamps to keep it in place for the front. And then of course we have our pretty layer we would put around the front. And then I use this little pillow on the inside to kind of keep baby up. I don't know if you can see, but that's pretty much how I do it for every baby. You want to make sure with any props though that it's suitable for baby. It doesn't have sharp edges or anything that would poke or hurt them. And just make sure that you're safe the whole time. As you can see, every baby's not quite the same. Sometimes you need to soothe them a little bit, but some little tips too that you can remember. Number 1, you want to prep ahead. 2, know your gear, your camera and your lighting. Make sure you have your settings there. And number 3, try to find a workflow to be able to get through what you would like. And don't get stuck on just one pose with baby. It's super helpful to be able to read the baby and know whether they're not liking something, and just being able to move on, you know, get past that. Let me know in the comments what your favorite tips were for today, or if you have any other questions. And again, thank you for watching.